Welcome guys for a another low a legend search video, and that is where we are looking at some lower elos in the ladder to know what's happening and also see some interesting build. We will still focus on what can be improved, but don't take any laugh as personal offense. It is mostly because we are not used to seeing some stuff. But pretty standard starts here. Here on is that Miss? Is that a construction for Miss? I think it's Miss Moon. Uh, Going for a Wanderer start. We do have the Growl start on Chikumuzi Mizu. Uh, Daedalus does go for the Pyro start and a Growl start on Depoy. But let's see here the transitions now. So the Wanderer stays at 4 worker, did not receive on wave 1. So good options for him. Much prefer to see the Adam here behind the Wanderer. Could be very good. This will be a Growl into... This would be a Growl into keeping the Growl. So this is one of my least favorite start to keep the Growl. But going for 2 bazookas instead here. The Pyro, what does he have as an answer for wave 4? Does have bucklers, can do pretty well, and Depoy will also keep the Growl here on wave 3 and protect it with a Green Devil, I believe. No, he doesn't have enough for that, so he can only go for... Wait, would it be 2 more Gargoyles here? On wave 3, on Pyros, you don't have to add anything. We do have our first sense here. First sense of interest. We do have a Brute from blue onto the mass gargoyles here, so it will result into a leak. If he sold this Growl into a Green Devil, that could have been a hold, but he decided to not go for it. We did have... Oh no, oh no. That's why you don't keep the Growl here, or you shift gold on this wave with a Growl. And we do see here, he's doing better than I expected with the Gargoyles here. But it's still a small leak here from Tipoy. But massive leak on blue, not getting a arcane defense up front, not getting a Sky Queen, does mean that this is a leak for Chiku. Let's call him Chiku. So we do have income sense here from Miss Moon and Tipoy, the 2 that did not send on wave 3. And so let's see here, we do have 147 on Miss Moon. 2 atoms should do pretty well here. If he has another Wanderer in the split, that's probably the worst he could do to possibly hold on wave 4. So 1 atom, 2 atoms, alright. And more Harpies here on the side of Chiku. It is a Brute recent. The Growl is now good defense on that wave, but the damage is just not there. And the wave will not now reach the Harpies, and the Harpies are not tanky enough to deal with the wave damage and the Brute damage. They are now targeting the Brute, and this will be a leak again from Chiku, but Daedalus not being able to hold here. Not enough protection of the Pyro here, the Dino. Very good against that. We do have a hold here with a Warg onto Tipoy. And here, despite having 2 atoms, still a very close hold from Miss Moon. but not a cover in the middle, so this will be again some king damage. This is a cover in the middle or close to. No, the dino was just too much to handle here, but the immolation prevents anything from reaching the king, while on that side you do have king damage. So clear advantage from Daedalus and Depoy right now. So let's see what is the transition. In terms of worker, it's perfectly equal. In terms of gold as well. But the king damage is on the advantage, is at the advantage of Daedalus and Depoy. We do have recents here. So the recents can be pretty good, sorry. The gate guard here is used as a tank. Normally you want to see it more of a DPS unit, but looks like that with the summon, it turns out to be a DPS unit. So it's still same problem, there is not enough damage in the backline. He still had the second summon, so it might still be close to a hold, despite the brute reaching the harpies yet. We do have the full wave cleared, and now you have 4 harpies against a single brute. Who will win? Looks like the harpies are winning this one quite handily. The resend here on the Daedalus does not do too much here, and the worker count is still equal. We do have king ups from Depoy. Depoy will be overvalued here, but does not have the best unit for wave 6. And so the brute can do pretty decent work here, despite being overvalued from T-Boy. The Zeus should do pretty well here, so should not be a problem for the Daedalus. And Mrs. Moon, Miss Moon will do pretty well against the King Ups, so we'll be able to push some workers here. Does have the good front line for next wave. The damage, yeah, damage not too bad, and is overvalued, so pushing to 8 workers should be reasonable. Or even 9 if you're feeling good. But looks like it will be a overvalue for Miss Moon, keeping 7 workers overall. Here we see it will be a leak against the Brute Sen onto Tipoy. And in terms of workers now, we do have a clear advantage from Chiku and Miss Moon. So the long wave, who does that benefit? There was a save from Daedalus. There is still a save on Miss Moon, and the workers were pretty much equal, so no real advantage to speak of. We do have some king ups coming from Miss Moon and T-Boy, so upgrading the king, not confident to be able to leak the enemy. But here, wave 8 looks like a very good send to wave to send against Daedalus. But it all depends on how the sends are handled. There's a lot of snails onto T-Poi that does not have damage for this wave. So lizards could have been way better than that. And the front line here is still a Growl. So you could have sold the Growl to get a canopy, but I guess you keep the Growl. And the damage, is it enough with all those RPs? Looks like it isn't, and it will be a leak on Chiku. But a small one, nonetheless. So we do have a push on Miss Moon, we do have a push on Chiku, we do have a push on Daedalus, and Tipoy as well, pushing one more worker. So pretty timid worker push. Wait, do we have a shift here? Okay, we got 265 going for the Disciple here. Okay, what do you do, Miss Moon? You have 200 gold in the bank. You're minus 65. And he is going. Oh, what did he go for? The Pyro. No, did not go for the Pyro. It was the Zeus. He did go for the Zeus. No. What was it? It's a Wanderer? No. What did he had? Okay, I guess, well, he did had the Pyro for sure this wave. But let's see here, the recent on wave 8, we discussed how good it could be against the build from Daedalus. And it looks like it will be a leak on him. The Fiend recent does do very well, but the Disciple is just too much damage now. So we will see a leak on Daedalus, but a hold on T-Poi. And the worker push is at the advantage of Miss Moon and Chiku, both at 9 workers. And heavily overvalue on Miss Moon does mean that there's a clear advantage on that side. He needs to prepare for wave 10. I think that is what he is aiming for with a Disciple. So Disciple here should be the play for Miss Moon, right over here. Going for Wanderer instead, gonna go for the Disciple later. More Gate Guard spam on Chiku. If he has enough Gate Guard, he can hold anything. So let's see if he goes for that strategy. We do have a Butcher. More Gate Guards again, also on that side. And an Alpha Mill on the side of T-Poi. So better frontline on T-Poi. So the one who's looking the strongest on wave 10 is currently T-Poi. Yes, you have a lot of harpies here, but your frontline is a bit lackluster. So let's see, the Sands are coming on wave 10, 9 workers all around. We have 2 people overvalued, T-Poi and Miss Moon. I think T-Poi is in a much better position. And we still go for the save on Daedalus. So that's pretty rough because everybody's going for income here. This is going to be a massive leak on Daedalus. What about T-Poi? Hard to tell for T-Poi. I think having another Alpha Male is much better than the Halo here. But I can be proven wrong. It's just I think Disciple is just so much damage already. I kind of want to give time to that. So massive leak here. Going for another Butcher here. Here, do we have the Disciple? No, we don't have the Disciple. Going for a Wanderer and more of those bazookas in an Atom. We have 2 Sky Queens here. Should be enough to clear here. No, it will not be. They targeted the Ogre. Yes, there are 2 Sky Queens on the opposite side, but still not enough damage to kill the boss here. Not enough damage to kill the boss as well on Miss Moon. Daedalus leaking massively, and the Radiant Halo is doing pretty well here, better than I expected. And so this is a hold from T-Poi, where leak for all the other lanes. And there's only one person who was saving here. No, wait. He sent after income the Ogre, sorry. So we do have king damage on both sides, but a bit more going onto the side of Chiku and Miss Moon. So we do have the income resent here from Miss Moon. We have the worker advantage on Chiku after receiving that send after income. So let's see here, 376 gold on the pocket of Miss Moon, 300 gold. Going for the Heart of Justice here on T-Poi. Massively overvalue. Miss Moon sitting at 461 gold now and waiting. Okay, going for the Samurai Soul and the Wanderer, preparing for 12 as well, but now looking at the King Ups, probably wants to prepare for wave 13. They probably want to avoid sending on 13 because of that halo. But are they strong on 13 themselves? Chiku pretty weak on 13 to be fair. Not the best use of auras here. If you want to maximize your use of aura, you want to have an hexagonal uh, formation like this one from Daedalus, or this one on Miss Moon as well. But still, not the best use of hero here. I would have much preferred to see hero on a boar circle. And if you want to build boars here, you kind of want them at the back of your lane, right here, and a unit in front, so that you maximize the ramping up damage from the speed of the boar. Sends on wave 12 from Miss Moon and Chiku. Um, and we do have more Sky Queens, so very vulnerable on wave 13. But 220 over for Miss Moon here will mean that he will be able to cover wave 13 with the bazookas and the Zeus, if he decides to do so, that is. But he's still pushed to Nosen here. Push 2 workers. We do see the disciple here. Okay. So the sends on the wave 12s are inconclusive, but they still wanted to skip 13. But they're still going for 13. And they are getting saved on the way. Chiku, push 2 workers to Nosen. You always want to avoid pushing to Nosen, because what you will see here is Chiku, okay, not that far under. But still, if he doesn't push those 2 workers, he's still overvalued and still has a chance to do pretty well. Here you do see the overinvestment to mana units, and that growl is still there. Well, to be fair, that one is still there too. So Miss Moon is saving on this guy, but Chiku is sending for income. No, going for king ups here. And only a send on Chiku from Daedalus. T-Poi is still saving. So let's see how the Sky Queens are doing on that wave against only a pack leader. And he is clearing pretty well, but it will still result into a leak, because the Sky Queens are not attacking the same targets. One is attacking one golem, the other is attacking the pack leader. So we will have a unfortunate leak here. I could have either cleared one or the other if the Sky Queens attack the same one. But still, only Chiku is leaking here. They are having the worker lead. And now T-Poi is sending, but Daedalus is saving. And now both Miss Moon and Chiku are saving here. Skipping 14, which is the weakest wave of T-Poi. What do they decide to do? If we look at the values, T-Poi is overvalued here, but all the units are pretty bad. We do have a full send on both Daedalus and T-Poi. Only the pack resend here, but we do have a undervalue for Chiku. He does have a lot of units here to get through, and a lot of Sky Queens here. We do have the 320 against the Zeus. So not the best units here from Miss Moon, but let's see how they do here against the Sens. The Sky Queens are ramping up pretty fast here. Nothing happened. And so it will be a clear for the Sky Queen player. And a decent clear here for the Pyro player. It will still result into a leak, but the Sky Queens are ramped up now and should be enough to clear most of it in the middle. And now they decide to go for 15. At least the Chiku is against the Phoenixes. So I would have much preferred to see income into 17 here from them, or straight 17. But let's see what Miss Moon decides to do with the 300 gold, 300 metem, sorry, goes for the 4i. I think 4i is not the best because there's no big tank, but still, there is no chance of him reaching the boss. So this means that this 4i should go to the middle and face those phoenixes. The phoenixes are not tanking though, so that might be an issue. But the sense is not the best here from Chiku against those phoenixes. So it will be interesting to see who does what and how well they do. Would have loved to see the 4i, honestly. 4i could have done very well on Chiku, from Chiku. And if we look at the worker is still at the advantage of Miss Moon and Chiku. And the gold is at their advantage as well. So let's see how they do against the sand. The phoenixes are sharing the aggro. The boss is attacking the phoenix and dealing a lot of damage. And now the ramp up damage is coming from the Arc of Justice, but still not enough to kill the boss, I believe. It all depends on how soon he gets the double attack speed, and it does not get it fast enough. So this is a king damage here with a 4i on the back of the boss. We did have a push from the Idealist before the wave ends, so not benefiting from the 2 worker push. If you're getting a sand on wave 15 and you want to push, you kind of want to wait after wave 15. But look at the value from Daedalus here. He's not going to hold wave 16, not one bit. And the income center here from Miss Moon will just show that. So Daedalus probably leaking to no sand here, or just a dino. T-Poi also massively under. Miss Moon, it's not that far under, but we have the strong wave here on 17 from Chiku. We have a lot of pyros from Miss Moon, but no real frontline. So it's all about Chiku doing pretty well here. We do have the full send here. Both of them are undervalued here on T-Poi and Daedalus. So let's see how they deal with that. And looks like here the leak will be pretty big on Daedalus as expected. What about on T-Poi? T-Poi is doing decently, but not enough, I believe, to reach the middle. This will result into a leak on both of them. Would have been much better if they went on 17. Because this does not kill them because of the king ups here. Alright. So now it's a question of how well does the Sen from Daedalus and T-Poi are doing. But wait, Miss Moon and Chiku, they push to no Sen again. No. They had such a huge advantage here. But more gate guard spam from Chiku. And okay, so the gate guards should be doing pretty well here. We do have the Shaman from Daedalus and T-Poi. It has a chance to do very well here because of their values are pretty low. But speaking at low values here, Daedalus and T-Poi are also very low, and so it should be a race here. The boar is a very good tank here, but damage is just not there. And here the phoenixes are just not good tank here. Going for a fire lord as well, so this is not looking too good for T-Poi and Daedalus. Let's zoom out to see the big picture here. The metal dragons are still are just reaching the Sky Queens now, and so it will be a fast leak onto the Sky Queen player. But here the MPS is doing a lot of work here and delaying the wave. But who leaks the fastest between yellow and Oh no, 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 that is just ruining the game here. And this shaman running back into the cavern just make it so that this reaches the king first and does kill them. But honestly, that might not have been enough to kill them. But game from Miss Moon and Chiku. A little bit unfortunate on the shaman turn around. Um, because we did have a leak from Miss Moon earlier than Daedalus, but uh, still not sure it was enough uh, time, even if the shaman uh, ran to the middle right as the wave ended. But this is some of the stuff that uh, makes it infuriating when it's a very close game. Thanks for the follow. I hope you like the content. And yeah, there was some push to no send that were quite ballsy in the mid game. So let's look here, pushing two workers to no send between 12 and 13. This prevents you possibly from killing one more golem. Like it was that close that this could have made a difference, the 100 gold. So that normally you just want to push when you receive a send. We did also have a 3 worker push from Miss Moon between 12 and 13. That makes him leak even a 2 worker push between 13 and 14. So in total, a 5 worker push before receiving a send and leaking just small here. He can like this one probably because he was massively over, and yes he was. But the 2 worker push here does not make sense here. It is your weak wave coming up, and you don't want to leak too much here. But still, the worker push here did allow them to have pressure on wave 15 and get some big king damage. And then the reset on 16 as well, very crucial. But they could have went straight for uh, wave 17. But here the push to no send again almost cost them the game. Those are the little details that you need to keep in mind. That you need to time your push correctly. If you don't time your push correctly, then you can throw some leads that you have, like sending. Do you receive a send? 100? Okay, I can push 2 workers off of that. Or is it my weak wave coming up? Can I push those workers? No, I need to wait. My weak wave passes. Okay, I can push some of the workers, like he did here. But in the end, like pushing those 2 workers when the weak wave is coming, it's not the best idea. So on that, I'm gonna say thank you YouTube for watching, and I hope you liked the video, and don't forget, time your push correctly.